Regardless of whether colleges are going the in-person, remote, or hybrid approach this fall, numbers are spiking. And one local expert has some thoughts on how to curb that trend. CBS 2's Chris Tye is live tonight with what she's suggesting. Chris.
Erica, Dr. Emily Landon is the head of infectious disease at University of Chicago. She says that 18 to 29-year-old age group continues to be the problem age in this country. These are the people being asked to forfeit some of the biggest touchstones of youth, whether it's their prom at 18, their first legal beer at 21, or a wedding in their mid-20s. They're being asked to give up a lot, but she says, frankly, there needs to be a nationalized plan, a full reset in this country, whether it's a national mask mandate on down. And the punishments, she says, need to be clear, both for the young people that are violating, as well as the institutions and industries that are working for them.
We need to reset as a nation. We need a clear message that focuses on science, real rules about when schools should be open and when schools shouldn't be open, when bars should be open and when bars shouldn't be open.
She says cities like Chicago and states like Illinois have those firm rules in place. She says they could be tougher, but consider large chunks of this country do not have those kinds of policies, those rules, and that is a problem. She says, let's make no mistake about this. Colleges are arguably the biggest riddle in this country right now. Whether you are in class or working remote, whether you are in a dorm or living from home, the problem is the magnet when you leave campus, and that is when you might go to a friend's house, you might go to a bar, and that, Erica, is when they say, you're not going to wear your mask, most likely. You're not going to social distance, most likely. And that is the point in time when the risk factor is highest and the spike is most likely to come.
Yes, that makes sense. And Chris, it sounds like on the front end of the pandemic, the biggest problem spot was nursing facilities and elder care centers. We reported so much on that, but now it's shifted to colleges. Why?
That's right. So back in February, March, when we all started to learn about COVID-19, college campuses emptied out because they could. But senior centers, or so-called senior congregant living operations, didn't have that option.
There was no testing available in most nursing homes in the beginning of this pandemic. And so there was that situation was because that was the only congregate living that was happening, and the most vulnerable individuals were in it. And we messed it up until we figured it out.
And what they figured out back in March was that there wasn't enough testing in those elder care facilities. They didn't know to isolate people when they were showing symptoms, and they just didn't have enough time to learn about this disease. Now the question becomes, can colleges and universities sort of navigate their unknown waters in the same way that elder congregant facilities had to navigate their waters? Nowadays we have more testing, not sufficient, but we have more. We know to put people in isolation when they show symptoms, and we also have rules and policies in place. Erica, make no mistake, college kids are the most tested group in this country. The question is, will that be enough? At present, Dr. Landon says the answer is no.
All right, Chris Tye, thank you.